Today is video 4, and we are going to talk about why you are so damn tired all the time, how that's turning into resentment, and ultimately killing off your ambition to take the next step in your career, whatever that is for you. Resentment isn't a personality flaw, it's a boundary alarm. You aren't just burned out, you're being exploited. The truth is, your company is perfectly happy to let you overfunction. I recently came across the Cinderella syndrome, which I read in this amazing book called Machiavelli for Women. It's brilliant, and I highly recommend it. In the fairy tale Cinderella, Cindy wants to go to the ball, but there's an obstacle in her way: the evil stepmother. She doesn't want Cindy to go to the ball. So instead of the stepmother being honest with Cinderella as to why she doesn't want her to go to the ball, she gives Cinderella a long list of chores to do and is told when she finishes all the work, she will then be allowed to go to the ball. Now, of course, the stepmother dangles the illusion of possibility to Cinderella, and Cinderella takes the stepmother at her word and dutifully starts in on the list of tasks. Meanwhile, it's a huge win for the stepmother. She avoids an unpleasant conversation. She blocks Cinderella from attending the ball. And of course, she has the cleanest floors in town. Now, coming over to the workplace, women get put into this position all the time, whereas men are typically promoted based on what people perceive their potential to be. Women are typically promoted based on the actual work that they've done, usually again and again and again. And this slows us down substantially in our early and mid-careers. We are told that we can get that promotion, aka go to the ball, or get that raise if we just do one more thing. Meanwhile, Bob and Steve get to go to the ball without so much as washing a dish. What we're talking about here is confirmation bias. This is when people experiencing something that confirms a pre-held idea. They tend to remember it. When they see something that goes against their preconceived ideas, they tend to forget it or ignore it. It makes sense if you think about it. If you think Susie in the office is really sweet and she's really mean to you one day, you would tend to think that Susie's just having a bad day. Not that she's actually a mean person. But on the other hand, if you think Mindy is a bad person and she's out to get you, one day she brings you coffee, you're probably not going to think that she's sweet and then you misread her. You are more likely to assume that Mindy wants something from you. This is confirmation bias. Now, let's talk about gender. People have strong preconceived notions about what makes a good leader. Those qualities include being aggressive, assertive, logical, self-confident, ambitious, visionary, brave, and demanding. Typically, leaders don't care too much about what people think. They're action-oriented and they are not afraid to grab the spotlight. And those qualities people associate with masculinity. An ideal man is supposed to be aggressive, ambitious, dominant, self-confident, and forceful. The takeaway? Being a good man and being a good leader are one and the same. Now, if you contrast the leadership qualities with qualities people associate with femininity, you see a very different picture. The qualities people associate with an ideal woman are somebody who's affectionate, helpful, sympathetic, sensitive, gentle, soft-spoken, modest, and puts others first. These are all admirable traits. They're not exactly the qualities you want in someone who's going to say, lead your troops into battle or run a Fortune 500 company. The implication, you can be a good leader, you can be a good woman, but you can't be both. I'm Stacy from Ready Now Lead, and I help high-achieving professional women like you stop playing small and being tired and start creating career strategies that actually prioritize you. I've spent years in those same male-dominated boardrooms, and I know exactly what it feels like to be the one doing all the work and not getting promoted. And this is part 4 of our series on the invisible work. And if you've ever found yourself just wishing you could quit because you're tired of being the one who does everything and not getting recognized, this video is for you. Now, none of this is new. When a man displays leadership qualities or does exceptional work, everybody remembers it and he gets rewarded. Oh, you've done such a good job. He will, in all likelihood, rise to a leadership position quickly and with great enthusiasm on the part of everyone around him. And yet, if he stumbles in that position, people are apt to dismiss it as like a one-off. kind of like when Susie's having a bad day. And he'll be given another chance or two or three or 1,000 to prove himself. But when a woman displays leadership qualities or does exceptional work, people will often register it as just good work. Not quite good enough to justify a promotion, so that woman will have to display these qualities or produce amazing work over and over and over again. And that's because the woman doesn't match the ideal leader people have in their minds. Think about how many coffees Mindy would have to buy you before you actually assumed she's a good person who you simply misjudged. And of course, if the woman messes up, if she even gets a shot and she stumbles, she often can't recover at all. So now we come back to you carrying all the work, i.e. the Cinderella story. They want you to do the extra work for your current pay and title. And that struggle is real. But every day that you stay silent and hope to be noticed, you're actually training your boss to take you for granted. Plus, if we're really honest, it creates resentment and anger. And that anger you're swallowing or justifying, that's not going away. It's turning into a slow burn that will eventually come out in the worst way. Maybe as burnout, maybe passive-aggressive snarky comments, maybe uncontrollable crying, or just an emotional breakdown. Or maybe leaving a career that you really loved. So how do you reclaim your ambition and close the anger gap? Let's flip the script. Let's talk about the math of your resentment and anger. The anger gap is the space between your output, that high-level, high-caliber strategic work that you're actually doing, and the input, that low-level salary and lack of recognition. You think you're proving your worth, i.e. Cinderella syndrome, but you're actually just giving the company a 40% discount on your talent. Resentment, burnout, and self-doubt is the interest that you pay on that unpaid debt. We've been told that if we stay quiet, work hard, keep our head down, and remain loyal, we will be rewarded. That is a lie. In the corporate world, silence is interpreted as satisfaction. Think about it. Do you know any men in the office that are quiet and don't talk about how great they are and keep their heads down and do all that work? If you are doing the work of two people and you aren't complaining, your boss doesn't see a hero. They see a bargain. They have no incentive to change a situation that is working perfectly for them. So if you're tired of being passed over and not seen and actually being the company's cheapest labor, you need to be here for the rest of the series. The anger gap, it exists because your green zone work is being ignored while your red zone labor is being exploited. And I've added a link below so you can print out that red zone audit to measure the imbalance between the two zones. That's where this resentment lives. Subscribe now so you can stop being a bargain and start being a boss. Think about the emotional weight of carrying your boss, your peers, your team. You're the one who anticipates the problems, fixes the mistakes, says it's just easier if I do it myself. And you're the one that smooths over the emotional outbursts. This isn't just work. It's cognitive and emotional labor. And while your colleagues are coasting and focusing on their own growth, i.e. not washing any dishes and still get to go to the ball, you're exhausted from managing everyone else. That exhaustion is what's killing your ambition. And when your ambition is tied to doing more rather than achieving more, it becomes a cage. You get stuck in the cycle of over-delivery that makes you too tired to even look for a better role. Your brilliance is being used to keep you in a broken system that keeps you running instead of building your own legacy. I'm not just here to point out the problem. I'm here to help you solve it. And you cannot change what you do not measure. So here's your strategy for this week, the value to pay mapping scale. I want you to take 10 minutes today or tomorrow and list out the top 5 daily or weekly tasks, not those little bullshit things, but the actual work you are responsible for on a day-to-day basis. Now, go look up the job description and the pay scale for the level above yours, either inside the company or out on Indeed or LinkedIn, or find that job that you want to be doing. If 3 out of 5 of those tasks are on that higher level list, that job description, you are donating free labor to your company. You aren't growing into that role, you are being underpaid for it. Now I want you to write down the difference between the two numbers, what you are currently being paid and the salary of that job that you just found that you're actually doing for free. Look at it, breathe deeply, and really notice, how are you feeling? That's your anger gap. Seeing it is the first step to closing it. Now for the hot poker moment. Staying in the anger gap, it's a choice. And you can keep carrying the resentment like a badge of honor. Be passive aggressive, be snarky. Or you can actually do something about it. That gap isn't going to close itself while you wait for your boss to suddenly notice your invisible work. If you're done playing small and you are ready to stop hoping for a promotion and start making it inevitable, let's talk. Now, I'm hoping you are starting to see why you're so fucking tired, why you're spinning your wheels, why being nice or a people pleaser who manages the weeds isn't getting recognized. You don't speak up about your work and being a visionary, and you're willing to take on more. It's building that reservoir of resentment. Resentment is what happens when you overfunction for everyone around you while they capitalize and cash in on your efforts. It's time to stop that donation. If you're feeling that burning resentment right now, I want you to hear this. You can't close the gap with the same good girl, nice girl mindset that opened it. Most of you are still waiting for that gold star that is just never coming. It isn't just about your boss ignoring your hard work. There's also an internal battle that you're fighting with your own evil stepmother, your inner critic. Subscribe now so you don't miss the most important shift in this whole entire series, video 5, where we get real about the inner critic, how it holds you back because you think if you don't know all the details or have all the information, you're never really going to be able to take that lead. It's about to get deep. I hope to see you there.